Hey, Board Game Geeks, Brian Hazard here. I am going to do another in my line of board game Broken Token reviews. Broken Token is a company that makes organizers for games with lots of bits that tend to get shoved into Ziploc bags. And the one I most recently got, along with the game, one of the most recent games I got was Terraforming Mars, which is right here. Everything is in reverse because I'm using a tablet on Selfie because I only use the highest production qualities here at I don't even have a thing. I'm just Brian. My channel's just my name. So, Glink Media, right? Glink Media. There you go, Glink Media. Anyways, here's Terraforming Mars Broken Token. Let's take a look. This has actually been stored on my shelf sideways, so that gives you an idea of how good it is at that. This is a pretty neat Broken Token organizer. It's one of those ones that you see it and you got to have it right away. We were at Geekway last weekend. No, the weekend before last. We were at Geekway in St. Louis, Missouri. Technically St. Charles, Missouri, but right next door. And we saw this. We loved Terraforming Mars, and we picked it up right away. So here you see you got the book cover on top. You've got the board. Broken Token has a great way of using the board to sort of hold things in place on the top, which they have done here. This is where it gets cool. If you're familiar with the game at all, you'll see that what you have here is a player board, and for each player you've got one of these player boards that holds all their resources. So when you take all this out, let's start over here. I'm going to take this out. What is this, you ask? This is the fancy Broken Token first player token for Terraforming Mars. Sweet, right? Very cool. So that actually has a spot right there in the corner. And then you've got this little guy right here, holds all of your ocean tiles. If you get the acrylic ocean tiles that they make, Broken Token actually makes a fair amount of things for this game. They make acrylic tiles. They make 3D printed tiles for the ocean. They've done a few things. They have 3D printed cities. What do those look like, you're wondering? Well, let me show you. Those I wanted to have, and there is space for them in here. It's a set of 4 cities that you can use for like the main cities that come up in the game. If you wanted to buy a ton of them and use them for every city, it certainly looks amazing if you do that. But this is them. This is what they look like. They're pretty cool, like a power plant looking thing and a little biodome. And it is 3D printed. If you know somebody who has a 3D printer, they could do the same thing. But this is pretty good. So ocean tiles. You've got these is really cool. This little container holds these 3. Let's see if I can do this so you can see them. You've got these 3 little doodads, tokens, acrylic, that you use to track population, temperature, and oxygen throughout the game instead of just the white cubes. So these are really cool. There you go, back in their little box there. You've got 2 containers of resources and hexes. So you see here, evenly divided, you've got your gold, silver, and brass, copper resource cubes. And you have the hexes that are either greenery or cities. Again, if you get the acrylic ones, they won't all fit in there. I love Broken Token, so don't take this as me saying that the acrylic is not a good idea to buy. I just don't think it fits the feel of the game. I think it takes away from the art or the aesthetic of the game to have just clear acrylic hexes on there instead of these. I think this is a much better choice if you want to have your cities or your greenery. I think it looks better on the board. That's just me. So you've got 2 of those. So as you see, you've got another one sort of stuffed in here. And I'm going to put those back because I don't need to keep them out for this particular demonstration. And let me show you the player boards. The player boards are so cool. So you don't actually have to put the player pieces away in between games. You can just store them right here on the player boards. The inserts have little divots to, let's go up a little higher. There we go. So you can see that the cubes are held. This is like a little storage space, and then they've got spaces to show how much income you get every turn for your construction and your plants, your money, I totally forget what this particular resource is. Oh, metal, right. and then your energy, which gets converted into steam, heat. What does that get converted into again? Do you remember? No. Yeah, me neither. We played it like twice, and we're like, buy the game, we love it. Once, we played it once and we bought it. So here's that. There's one of these for every player, and they stack very nicely in here, one on top of another. I will say this, I made some sort of error in making one of my trays so that it only stacks nicely, or other trays won't stack on top of it, so you have to put this one on the very top. This guy right here, for some reason. But all the others, they stack very nicely like this. So when it comes time to play the game, you just take out all the trays and hand them out around the table. Pretty awesome, if you ask me. I'm going to pretend that you did. So there's other hexes in the game other than the ocean tiles and the city and the greenery. You got this killer little holder here, which looks like some of the they were making a break for it. I'm not gonna lie. That's a funny saying, isn't it? Do you usually lie? I mean, do you have to? Should I not trust you when you don't say that? Anyways, here you go. So this is a little hex tile holder that holds all the other special hexes in the game. It's really cool. Almost seems a little bit like overkill for just a bunch of hexes, but they needed to put it somewhere, and this is a great little thing. One of the things that Broken Token is well known for is the ability, they make dividers or organizers that you can play right out of them, which is awesome. So this is one that you can play right out of, and that goes back in there. But before I do, let me show you the card chute. It's very nice. So this is for your deck of cards that you play with. As you can see, it's got a fantastic little rocket ship there in the side, and it sits like this. So you've got, well, I've got the cards for the corporations up here at the top, and the like the cheat sheet rules that are up there. And you'll notice by the size here that you can fit sleeved cards in here, no problem. So that would be funny. You know what's funny? I listened to Fleetwood Mac rumors while I was building this, and now every time I look at the Broken Token for Terraforming Mars, I think of rumors, Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, never going back again. That's not the point. So this is the deck of all the different technologies and such that you can get. And what's great is that it's big enough that you can actually have a discard down here as well. So you can draw from up here, and then when you're done with them, you can throw them down here, and at the end of the game, pull them back out, shuffle them, and put them in the top again. Wait, oh, you want to walk past, but the camera's running. Is that what's going on? Yes, that's what's going on. Move very quickly, and I'll make distracting there. Quick! Quick, you never saw a thing. Ha-ha! Ha-ha! There was no woman. She's gone. So, that's good stuff. Okay, so there's that. That's it. That's the Broken Token for Terraforming Mars. I like it. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite ones that they've done because of what they did with the player boards and the ability to just store it in there. I was absolutely concerned upon constructing this. I put these in wrong. That these would fly all over the place if I tried to store sideways. That has not been the case. Just like they always do. Oh, and by the way, these, if you decide to get these, there's so much room in the card chute there that you can just do that. But just like they've done in the past, when you take the board for the game and put them in here and put it on here, it sort of locks everything into place. Is that the right way? This is the right way. It works to effectively lock everything into place so it doesn't jiggle around in here. And if you put it in, if you store it vertically, that you won't have a problem with that. Oh, wait, here comes somebody. Wait, hold on. Terraforming Mars, everyone. All right, there we go. So put that back on here. And just because, even though it doesn't seem like things are going to fall out when games get this heavy, I tend to put one of these fancy game bras on there. I'm sure they're not called game bras, but it's kind of what I call them. So that's the Broken Token for Terraforming Mars. Have any comments, throw them down there, and I will see you guys on the Geek. Take care.